Apostilles were being rejected left and right at the Secretary of State's office this morning, and I just want to walk through maybe what you could do so that you could successfully get an apostille for your document. Several of the documents that were being rejected was because the notary did not fill out their notarial block or their certificate correctly. And the first one that I overheard that was rejected was because they did not write their "My Commission Expires" date under their signature or by the notary stamp. So even though the notary stamp says when their commission expires, Arizona Secretary of State does require that the notary actually has to fill this in or write it in for them to approve it for an apostille. So another one I heard was being denied was because the notary attached a loose certificate to the document and notarized it, but they did not indicate the name of the document under the notarial block. And if you look in the handbook, Arizona handbook for notaries, it is required that on a loose certificate that you write out the name of the document, the date of the document, and how many pages it was. So because that was not on there, they rejected it for an apostille. So the next one that I heard that was rejected was because the notary block was separated into two different pages. So the notary had filled in the county, the state, name of the signer, and on the second page they had their signature, their stamp, and expiration. And the Secretary of State will not accept that. The notary block has to be all on the same page. So another one that people may not be aware of because they don't do this all the time is, and this is on the Arizona Secretary of State website, is that the document has to be from Arizona. So if it is a birth certificate or death certificate, anything like that, it has to be a certified copy from Arizona. This lady had something from Nevada and something from California, and they rejected it, saying that it had to go to those states. So that's another reason for rejection. Several of the documents that were being rejected was because the notary did not fill out their notarial block or their certificate correctly. And the first one that I overheard that was rejected was because they did not write their "My Commission Expires" date under their signature or by the notary stamp. So even though the notary stamp says when their commission expires, Arizona Secretary of State does require that the notary actually has to fill this in or write it in for them to approve it for an apostille. One thing that definitely slowed the process down for everybody that was waiting in line or for their number to be called was the application was not filled out. So you bring in the documents, you have to fill out the application, which again is on their website, or they have copies there in the office that you can fill out. But that needs to be filled out when you bring your documents up there, because they need to know the name of the document, what country it's going to, and then the information, the requester's information, including name, date, email address, your address, and then the date that you bring it up there. So that did slow things down because people didn't have that filled out. With all this to say that, apostilles may seem easy, but not everybody understands the process, and so that's why we here at Cactus Bloom Notary are facilitators for the apostille process, so you don't have the headache of making the trip down there and it being rejected. So if you do need an apostille and you have an Arizona document or any document nationwide, let us know, and we'll definitely give you information that we can help you out. So give us a call. Thanks.